Hello guys, my name is Naz. Welcome to the video. We're in game week 24 in the Premier League, and so we're going to go through each fixture and discuss and talk about what went on. So without further ado, I know everyone's going to be talking about the big one, and that is Newcastle have beaten Manchester City 2-1. Crazy result today. Me personally as a Liverpool fan, I kind of went crazy, and then I realised, okay, wait, hold on. We still need to do our part tomorrow against Leicester at home. So I'm cautiously optimistic. A bit chilled, relax, wait for tomorrow, and then I could start going crazy. But crazy result. So 2-1 Newcastle. I was watching the game. To me, it felt like Manchester City were a bit jaded, being in all competitions, and putting out their full strength team in each of them, it's going to have an effect on the players, and I think today it showed. The players looked tired, they were bereft of ideas. They did well to get the early goal, and from then on it just kind of felt that they were just kind of strolling around the pitch, not creating enough. The passes were a bit off, it wasn't vintage City. And at the end of the day, Newcastle took advantage of that, and they came out as the winners. To be fair though, it didn't really look like Newcastle would get into the game, And to be fair, the goal that they scored, it was completely out of nowhere. But it was a fantastic finish. Solomon Rondon, fantastic striker. Big. He can bully defenses. He can bully defenses. When he's on his game, and his strength and build, helped him to score that goal, and it was a great finish. And to put it past Edison, fantastic finish, and that was the equaliser. And then the penalty. Once again, it's the players, they just weren't on their game, and Fernandinho, you would trust him to keep the ball well, but gave it away unnecessarily, and it was a clear penalty. I don't think there was any dispute about the penalty. And Matt Ritchie came up with the goods, just smashed it as hard as he could, and thankfully, as a Liverpool fan, he scored to make it 2-1 to Newcastle. And this could potentially be a massive result, not only in the title race but also for the relegation battle as well. As a Liverpool fan and as a Rafa fan, I hope for us, obviously we go on to then beat Leicester and then etc. I don't want to say it, I'm not gonna. And for Newcastle to then hopefully kickstart their season and hopefully get out of the relegation zone, because Newcastle, they need to be in the Premier League, because they are such a massive team with a fantastic fan base, and for them to be lingering around the relegation zone, it's just, for me, it's just absurd, because how good of a team they are and how good of a manager they have as well. Rafa Benitez is one of the top coaches in the world, and for them to be lingering around the relegation zone is just, it's ridiculous. So the sooner Mike Ashley leaves, the better, probably. And hopefully whoever does potentially take over Newcastle can see the potential of Newcastle, and hopefully provide the funds for Rafa if he stays. Because you can clearly see he's frustrated at Newcastle, and rightly so. He guided the team to 10th place, and yet still didn't get any funds in the summer. It doesn't look like he's going to get any funds in January as well. So for sure, definitely, hopefully it's a kickstart to their season, and we can go from there. So 2-1 to Newcastle. City, they have another big 3 games coming up as well after this. I think they got Arsenal next, then Everton away, and then Chelsea. So the next few fixtures are going to be huge in the title race, and City, from a Liverpool perspective, I hope they now kind of concentrate on the Champions League and kind of just not go all out in the Premier League, But so 2-1 Newcastle, fantastic result all around. Agent Rafa, first we had Agent Hodgson from Crystal Palace, doing us a massive favour there, and now we got Agent Rafa, And if Liverpool do end up winning the league, Rafa's got that. Rafa should have that in his accolades as well, because I know he's got Liverpool at heart. So great result there, fantastic result. So we go to the next fixture. United versus Burnley. So 2-2, 2-2. Listen, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in, he's been absolutely brilliant. United are playing really good football. Everyone are filled with confidence, and they're playing with a swagger that that they can beat anyone. And everyone, I'm pretty sure, that going into this game would have thought United would win this comfortably. And I didn't watch the full game, but I looked at the highlights. It looked like obviously United had all the possession, and they were creating a lot of chances, but they just weren't clinical enough. Rashford, he's been immense since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come through. He had a few chances that you now expect him to bury, because he's been showing such clinical form as of late, and you would have thought that he would have been burying some of these chances, but it wasn't his night, and that as a result led to United not performing as well as they should have. Burnley, though, fair play to them. They hanged on for a long time, and then they were efficient. They didn't create too many chances, but with the chances that they created, they scored from. And that's all you can ask for when coming in as an away team at Old Trafford. When you have the chance, you have to take it, and that's what they did. But as again, from a Liverpool perspective, it's a shame that they didn't then hold on for the 2-0 lead. And United, fair play to them. They didn't give up. And that's the sort of ethos that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has put into this side. They never gave up. They kept going right to the end, and they managed to claw it back 2-2. I think you would agree that under Mourinho, that probably would have ended up 2-0 to Burnley. How many times have you seen a team that's outside of the top 6 coming to Old Trafford, get a 1-0, get a 2-0, and that's it, finished. And like I said, so fair play to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's team to get it 2-2. The goal scorer is Pogba for United. Penalty. I don't know. Some people are telling me it's contentious, but as a Liverpool fan, I can't really say much. Salah has been. I'll admit he's been diving left, right, and centre, and we've been getting quite soft penalties, so I can't really say much. I think it was a penalty. I mean, obviously, as a grown man, you can stay down, if someone kind of just tugs you a little bit, but in this day and age, it's a penalty all day, and Pogba put in the top bins, there's no saving that. Even he went the right way, but no saving that at all. And then Lindelof got a goal, and at that point, every non-United fan are thinking, okay, here we go. This is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer time now, and it's going to be 3-2, but Burnley held on in the end. 2-2. Obviously, before the game, if someone told you 2-2 as a United fan, you'd be thinking, no, we're in great form, it's going to be a win. But considering the circumstances, they did well to get back to 2-2. And yeah, I mean, this season in particular, I haven't been too concerned about United for obvious reasons. But as a rival fan, you always do kind of hope that your rival loses or draws. So it's good. It's good. I'm sure that Arsenal fans are happy, and the Chelsea fans. So yeah, 2-2. So let's go on to the next game. So we have Fulham versus Brighton, 4-2. That is, what a result that is for Fulham. They're, I'm pretty sure, the rock bottom or second from bottom, and their form hasn't been great. Everyone kind of thought, well, I personally thought, with Ranieri coming in, there's going to be an upturn in their form, and there's going to be a feel-good factor, and they're going to get results. Because before the season started, with Fulham, I thought Fulham were going to do quite well, because they have really exciting players, but they haven't really lived up to the expectation that I had for them. So going into this game, I predicted a Brighton win. However, and it looked likely as well. They took the lead, and they scored a second as well after just 17 minutes. So 2 goals under 20 minutes. And before, here we go again. Fulham, another loss, and it was looking that way. But the second half team talk must have been crazy. There was probably not Mr. Nice Guy Ranieri in that changing room. He probably, I don't know what he did, but he must have done something. He must have showed an inspiring video of their title winning campaign, and the players must have got really inspired, because after the half-time whistle, they came out of the blocks, to score 4 goals after conceding 2. It's crazy, and this is why we love the Premier League as well, man. Like, you know, even some of these fixtures, like a normal fixture like Fulham versus Brighton, you know, on paper you wouldn't think, okay, whatever, but you know, once again another exciting game, and you know, we go through the goal scorers. So Glenn Murray with a double. You know, this guy, he's like a fine wine. You know, he's getting older and older, but you know, he's scoring the goals, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's in double figures for the season. So you know, Glenn Murray, you know, fair play to him. And God knows how old he is, but he's getting in the goals, and you know, that's all you can ask for from a striker. And you know, I'm happy for him. You know, people are normally retiring at his age, but he's still banging in the goals at Premier League level. So that's no mean feat at all. So fair play to him. But unfortunately for Brighton, you know, those goals were for nothing really, because you know, Fulham did a fantastic comeback, and we go through the goal scorers there. So Callum Chambers, he got a goal back, and then Mitrovic, what a player. You know, for me, I love Mitrovic. You know, he's one of those strikers that, you know, he will die for the cause. He's always a fighter, and you know, he will put himself about, and you know, on his day he can be a real handful to the defenders, and this is once again another great showing from Mitrovic, you know. And you know, he got another goal. So two goals actually, sorry. So another 2 more goals for Mitrovic, and I think he's near in the top sort of goal scoring charts as well. So fantastic player. You know, even in a team as limited as Fulham have been, you know, for him to get, I think he's on 8 goals now, 9 goals this season. You know, it's absolutely fantastic, and he's probably going to end up getting like 15 goals. You know, so that's absolutely brilliant for him. And then the 4th goal was from Vieto, Vieto. You know, this is why I was excited about Fulham, because they made some very shrewd signings in the summer, and you know, Vieto, you know, he's got a lot of European pedigree. You know, playing for Atletico Madrid. You know, and so he, you know, when I saw Fulham signing him, you know, it looked like, you know, it was going to be exciting. But he hasn't been too great this season. But you know, an important goal today, and like Newcastle's result, you know, I hope maybe this could be a result for Fulham to kickstart their season. You know, fantastic comeback, 4-2. You know, fair play. So yeah, another great game today. Who we got next? So we got Wolves versus West Ham, 3-0. You know, what can we say about Wolves? Wolves have been absolutely immense this season, and I think like Fulham, everyone had quite high expectations for Wolves, but unlike Fulham, they actually delivered on their expectation. And you know, I mean, they did spend quite a lot of money, admittedly, but you know, it shows, and they're doing fantastically well. You know, to be 7th place or 8th place now, top 10, you know, for a newly promoted side is absolutely brilliant. And with the football that they're playing as well, you know, Nuno Espirito has got them playing some fantastic stuff, and you know, they are joy to watch, honestly. You know, and you know, there's not too many better midfielders in the Premier League than Ruben Neves and Juan Moutinho in the centre of the park, you know, and that's coming from a newly promoted side. So it's absolutely brilliant. Wolves have been fantastic to watch, and Raul Jimenez, you know, he's on fire. Another 2 goals today. You know, it's a fantastic performance, you know, and it's from a neutral point of view, you know, it's really good to see a team newly promoted playing so well. So it's another fantastic win for Wolves, and they go up into the table. West Ham, what can you say? I mean, they did, you know, they're not in great form at the moment, you know, having lost to Wimbledon in the FA Cup. Another big loss today. I don't know, West Ham have been really hit and miss this season. I mean, they play some fantastic football, you know, and have some really great games, like for example against Arsenal, and you know, but then they'll have games like this, you know, they just look bereft of ideas and just not on it, you know. And they have some fantastic players, you know, that really should be performing at a better level, and at a consistent level, you know. Like for example, Felipe Anderson, you know, one game he looks like a world beater, the next game he's not as effective, and you know, that's consistency has been a real issue for Manuel Pellegrini's side. But you know, they'll be safe, I think, and you know, they just need to sort that consistency out, and they'll be fine. I mean, obviously the signing of Nasri needs a little bit, get a little bit of boost to the club. But yeah, we'll see where they end up. But yeah, great win for Wolves, and yeah, let's go to the next fixture. What else we got? And okay, so yeah, we go to Arsenal versus Cardiff. So obviously, in light of the Salah situation, you know, everyone marked their respects for them. You know, such a sad, you know, story to come out. You know, you would never think, you know, you can't really comprehend that would ever happen in football. You know, especially at top flight level. You know, I mean, and it just shows, you know, whatever level you're footballer you're at, you know, anything could happen. And you know, for Salah to, you know, lose his life on his way to his new club, you know, it's just such a sad story. And Neil Warnock in his press conference was saying, you know, that he was thinking about retiring. So you know, and the amount of, I can't even think about the amount of stress and everything that's going on for the players, the family, everyone. So you know, rest in peace to Salah. Well, we mean he still might be out there. You know, the search is still going on, but you know, unfortunately, he is looking quite bad. But from that, anyway, sorry guys, made a very rookie mistake and not charged my battery. So it's all good now. We're back on. Anyway, so we're talking about the Arsenal vs Cardiff game. The score was 2-1. Aubameyang and Lacazette with the 2 goals for Arsenal, and for Cardiff we had Nathaniel Lang with a consolation goal right at the end. You know, Lacazette and Aubameyang most probably are the best striking duo in the Premier League at this moment in time. You know, 2 extremely talented players. You know, just scoring for fun at the moment. And you know, the chemistry that they have on the pitch and off the pitch, you know, is absolutely incredible. You know, I'm low-key jealous of their friendship. You know, they seem to be absolutely feeding off each other. You know, unfortunately, you know, with Arsenal, their defensive issues has kind of countered their attacking threat. You know, because going forward, you know, they're a fantastic team, play some really good stuff, but it's just the defense that lets them down every time. And you know, that's not really Emre's fault. You know, he hasn't got that much. He hasn't got too many good players to play with. You know, you can only do what you have with what you have. You know, so you know, it's a shame for him at the moment. But you know, I'm sure that's what he's going to be looking to improve on. Maybe this window or the next. You know, so yeah, fantastic win for Arsenal. Keeps them in 5th place, but it puts pressure on Chelsea for the 4th place battle. Yeah, so fantastic win, 2-1, good result for Arsenal. And lastly for today, Huddersfield versus Everton. It ended up 1-0 to Everton. Good. Huddersfield, rock bottom of the Premier League. Obviously, their manager has left, Wagner. Huddersfield, they're gonna get relegated. You know, I'm just saying there is no chance that they stay up. And if they do stay up, I promise I will buy a Huddersfield top with the name loser at the back, because there is a 1,000,000% chance. There's not a chance in hell that Huddersfield are gonna stay up. And you know, I'm sorry if any Huddersfield fans are watching, but you know, you have to admit, you know, it's been a pretty poor season. And you know, with Huddersfield's budget, you know, it's not great for them. And you know, they just haven't been scoring goals and obviously leaking defence, and that combination is just going to end up with what you have at the moment, which is just an absolutely shocking team, playing shockingly. And yeah, so another loss for them. 1-0, tight affair, I guess, but you know, the early goal from Richarlison, who has been an absolute revelation for Everton. For Everton win. Richarlison, just on a side note, you know, he's been fantastic for Everton. You know, I think everyone was talking about the transfer fee that Everton paid for Richarlison, And admittedly, I was as well. I was kind of laughing a bit, you know, because he had a half a good season for Watford, and then in the second half of the season he was just terrible since when Marcus Silva left. And I was thinking, how can Everton pay that much for a player that's had half a season? But you know, certain managers get the best out of players, and this seems to be the case for Richarlison. You know, Marcus Silva has done wonders for Richarlison, and he's been absolutely brilliant. And another goal for him, and he's had a fantastic debut season for Everton. So yeah, Everton fans, you'll be happy with that win. Another 3 points for you guys. Even with Lucas Digne being sent off, you know, they managed to hold on, which then says a lot about Huddersfield. You know, Digne was sent off in the 66th minute. Got a list there for some reason, I don't know what happened. So yeah, he got sent off in the 66th minute. That's really hard to say.
Oh no! Oh no! You're retarded.
And yeah, and even then Huddersfield still couldn't score. I mean, how dire must your striking options be for you to not be able to score, even with an extra man for almost half an hour? So you know, it's looking really bad for Huddersfield, unfortunately. But yeah, another fantastic win for Everton. So yeah, and that's your roundup of the fixtures for today. Obviously, there's more fixtures following the next day, you know, and you know everyone's gonna be looking at Liverpool, you know, against Leicester. You know, it's a tough opposition. You know, they were really, you know, it was a tight game last season. The last time they met each other, and it's gonna be another tight game again, I think. My prediction, most likely, I'll go for 2-0 Liverpool still. You know, I think they'll turn up and they'll get a 2-0 win. I hope I haven't cursed them, you know. So 2-0 there. Let's look at other fixtures. We also got Bournemouth versus Chelsea. Bournemouth at home. You know, another fantastic team to watch. You know, Eddie Howe's got them playing some fantastic football. You know, with Callum Wilson and, you know, Joshua King, Ryan Fraser. You know, it's a fantastic, potent attacking team, and I think they'll give problems to Chelsea. And I'm going for 1-1. Bournemouth versus Chelsea. I'm going for 1-1. Chelsea, you know, obviously a good team, but I still think they're very reliant on Hazard. Higuain, they've signed now. I'm not convinced of him, but he knows he can set the. You know, he knows Sarri. He knows his way of playing, so he might suit them well, and you know, he might do good. But my prediction is 1-1 for that game. We also got Southampton versus Palace. Palace have been fantastic, you know. They have a really fantastic team. I think, you know, for a team like them, you know, they have a really good team. You know, Zaha always causes problems, and you know, he's a threat every time he's on the ball. You know, he loves to take players on, and you know, he's not afraid to try things, you know, that most people wouldn't. And you know, that's what makes him so exciting to watch. You know, Palace are on some good form. Obviously, they lost last week, but they put on such a fantastic performance away from home. And I think against Southampton, I think they'll get the win, but only slightly. I'm going for a 2-1 Palace win against Southampton. And then we have Tottenham versus Watford. Normally, I would have said it's an easy win for Tottenham, but considering that, you know, getting out of 2 competitions last week.
Yeah, but Tottenham, it's the history of the Tottenham.
And with the injuries that they have, it's not going to be as comfortable as it normally would have been. And Watford have been fantastic this season, so it's going to be a really, really tough game. But saying that, I think they'll edge it out, and I'm going for 2-1 Tottenham tomorrow. So we'll see how they are. We'll see if any of my predictions come true. I'm normally very terrible at predictions. You know, I do Super 6 on Sky Sports, and I always get about 2 points. Yeah, that's been the roundup for today's fixtures. I hope you enjoyed the video. Comment, please leave a comment. You know, if anything you want to discuss, anything that you agree with me, anything that you disagree with me, and you know, anything that you want to add to this video, any feedback, you know, be greatly appreciated. So yeah, thank you. Leave a like, subscribe, and yeah, keep it Gucci.